Coming up next, the Sledhead 24/7 crew sets out on another Ram road trip. Today, we'll track down the already legendary Arctic Cat Black Cats, a group of mountain riders with Jedi-level black belt skills in deep powder riding and who have also mastered the art of fun and games. Catch up with Kody Kamm. Number 53 is making his move to be number 1. An early season Snowcross points battle is on to determine a champion. Snowcross is one of the most physically demanding sports on the planet, and when the weather goes wild, hang on. A full report on round 3 and 4 of AMSOIL Championship Snocross Powered by Ram from Winter Park, Colorado. Take time for a riding lesson from the Skidoo experts on everything. These teachers are also ambassadors, and when the 3 Amigos go big, the result is a game changer on the snow. Ready to ride? Sledhead 24/7, coming to you from Heinen's Motorsports, starts now.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sledhead 24/7, your show about everything snow. I'm your host, Chelsea Scourge, joined today by Jeff Fisher here at Heinen's Motorsports. Now Jeff, we're going to talk about a rider that is one compelling character on and off the track. He races for Polaris and Team Henches.
You know, he has many ISOC wins, he has gold medals from X Games, and his riding style is second to none.
Absolutely. We're talking about the rider Kody Kamm. Now we're going to get up close and personal with Kody to see what drives him to greatness.
Hi, I'm Kody Kamm. I ride Polaris for Henches Racing. I love snowcross because I just love to get out there and see how high I can jump or how far I can sometimes, and I just have a lot of fun doing it.
For Kody Kamm, the podium is where he's headed. The Wisconsin rider knows the roadmap to success takes you through the zone. The zone is a mental place, a state of mind that all racers want to get to and never leave.
When I'm riding and racing and just feeling comfortable on the sled, I'm in the zone, and the zone is the place to be. I'm very confident, and I just feel great on the sleds, and hopefully I continue doing good.
The starting line is where the racing gets hardcore serious. On the line, it all comes together. The madness of the moments before you go green. The bar-to-bar battle for the whole shot. Kody knows this is simply one of the most intense moments in all of motorsport.
Definitely something else. Waiting for the light to turn green, your nerves are just wide open, and the sleds are so loud you can't hear anything else besides the snowmobiles, and it's just crazy out there.
AMSOIL Pro Open Final, and it's green. Up the hill they go.
Kody now matures into a seasoned racer. He's still racing plenty hard, but as he told CBS Sports, he's now racing smart.
You're back, you're feeling good. What is it going to take this year to win?
Just ride smooth and be smart. I used to take a lot of crazy chances, and I still do once in a while, but sometimes they work great and sometimes they don't work at all.
The life of a pro racer can seem larger than life. Massive trailers and teams on call around the clock, working to ensure that number 53 will get to the top spot on the box.
Kody Kamm is a phenomenal talent. He's a great kid. He's been with us for a number of years. He has a real natural ability of finding fantastic lines on the track that people haven't seen yet, and he uses those to his advantage because those lines come and go so fast.
Well, he's young. He's improving. He's fearless. He's got natural talent, but he's been training. He's been working on becoming a little more technical, staying healthy.
Kody's great. I absolutely love watching him. He's got a style that's unbelievable, and he's a little harder in equipment, but that's okay. We love it.
The results of all the testing and hard riding research eventually ends up on the Polaris sled that anyone can buy. and you can find it at your local dealership, ready to ride.
I'm pretty good, actually. I'm really happy on the sled and in my gym, and just very happy with everything.
It's been said that a trophy carries dust, but memories last forever. And if that's true, then Cody Kamm is going so fast, there is zero chance of dust gathering on the podium. But the memories, those racing memories, are only going to get better.
You know, watching Cody ride is so amazing. The first time I ever saw him was quite a few years ago. We're at a motocross race at Redbud, and there was this Lorocco Leap, which is a big jump. During the amateur day, there was one person doing it. You know who that was? Kody Kamm.
Cody Kam, he's super fun to watch out on the track. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
When Sledhead 24/7 returns, the thin mountain air may have some folks gasping for air, but they're not starving for entertainment. The Arctic Cat Black Cat share the how and why of deep powder, hill climbing, and big-time backcountry fun. Find out how Tucker Hibbert scored a double-double in Colorado for round 3 and 4 of AMSOIL Championship Snocross, and what the T-Train does to take on the glare of championship pressure. Further down the trail, we'll hang out with the Skidoo ambassadors. They're experts on everything on a snowmobile. 3 riders with different skills, but similar values, and they're ready to share a lifetime of knowledge. And just what is tech expert Jeff Fisher wrenching around with? Find out after this brief timeout.
Sledhead 24/7 is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. By Polaris. Terrain domination. Arctic Cat. Share our passion. Skidoo Snowmobiles. What matters is what's next. FXR. World-class outerwear. And by Ram Trucks. America's longest lasting pickups.
Welcome back to Sledhead 24/7. Now, Jeff, you've been spending a lot of time in the shop. What are you working on?
Well, I'm trying to prep our sleds, get everything ready to go. One of my biggest pet peeves when I get on one of the sleds, if the dry belt is too loose, it overshifts, it just wants to take off in second gear, not a nice, crisp throttle response.
Now, Jeff, you talk the talk. Let's head to the shop and see you walk the walk.
The machine we have here is our new Polaris XCR 800. Most of the machines, everybody's got a little bit different adjustment for how to adjust it. So consult your service manual, your owner's manual, or talk to your dealer about what's the proper procedure to do it. But the first thing you need to look at to see if you even need to do it is check how much deflection you have in your belt. And if you can see this one, now this one we have 100 miles on it. And when you can lock the brake and you can actually spin the belt on the secondary. What that is, it's too loose, and what happens is the clutch starts to shut and it overshifts. It doesn't shift at the same time. Your primary starts to shift and it hasn't started to shift in the secondary. Can give it a hesitation, almost a bog feel. What you do is want a little tighter, a snugger belt, and I'll show you how. Loosen the jam nut slightly and basically rotate it out. And as you're doing this, you're going to want to turn the clutch to make the track spin. So what we do is raise the back end slightly. And what you're doing is just getting the sheave to shut a little farther, and what it's doing is the belt is coming out the top of the clutch. This does a couple things. It gets your belt tension right and actually starts your back pulley out bigger, which will give you a better low end. Now we're getting a little closer to where we want to be. Now you can see the belt is much tighter. And now with holding the brake, I can't spin the belt on the clutch. So now I know I tightened it up. That's going to give us a better low end, better hole shot, better belt life, less slippage, less heat, better belt life. And last step would be just to run the sled slowly, make sure you got all your tools, everything out of the way. Spin the track, let it go to an idle and make sure that it doesn't walk on its own. And if it does walk on its own, what you need to do is just go back and take some of the tension away. That easy. Your sled will love it.
Well, thank you for the great tips, Jeff. Now let's turn it to on track. We just wrapped up rounds 3 and 4 of AMSOIL Championship Snocross Powered by Ram out in the beautiful mountains of Colorado.
No, it was a great facility. I had a chance to be there. What made it even better is my son David took first place in the snowbike class.
Awesome, congratulations. Now let's take a look at more of what happened out in Colorado with Iron Mike Schroeder.
In Pro Open, all eyes were on Tucker Hibbert. The 10-time national champ told CBS he's ready to stare down the pressure of defending his title.
Yeah, pressure gets everybody for sure, you know. I think the experience that I've had and the amount of time I've raced definitely kind of eases that pressure a little bit, and I've learned how to deal with it, but everyone has pressure no matter what.
But in the final Saturday night, the boss was back. Ross, the boss Martin, grabbed the stud boy hole shot and the early lead. The T-Train responded and was quickly on Martin's heels, made the pass, and then checked out. Elias Eschol was a contender for a top 5 finish, or maybe even better, until he reinforced his checker or wrecker reputation while trying to pass Tim Tremblay. By scoring a double in Colorado, Tucker Hibbert has extended his points lead, but Tim Tremblay is only 12 points behind the T-Train. And folks, we have an early points battle.
Still ahead on Sledhead 24/7. Meet the Skidoo ambassadors, 3 riders whose set of mad skills go on beyond the mountains. And the cats are ready to growl. The Arctic Cat Black Cats. Find out why their fame is growing. Their flair for hill climbing and deep powder fun and games has only just begun. But first, here's today's AMSOIL Tech Tip.
With winter comes cold temperatures, and diesels need protection. Not everybody gets to store their race trailer or their diesel truck inside of a garage, so it needs to start when you need it to work. So make sure your fuel is treated, either with the cetane boost, with an injector cleaner, or with the cold flow improver that'll help that machine start in the cold.
Time to take a look at the 3 Amigos. We're talking about the Skidoo backcountry experts who are always breaking new ground each time they hit the snow.
Yeah, and the riders we got to ride with was Tony Jenkins, Jay Mendeberry, and Ashley Chapin. Just a fun group to go ride with.
Sounds like a great time. Let's go take a look.
Well, I'm dressed. I'm going riding.
Well, being so young, being 22 in this industry and being able to talk to the Skidoo engineers and everybody involved with this amazing snowmobile is just out of this world for me. I knew it was going to happen in my life. You know, I set that goal, and just to be here this quick and how it's all came together is just incredible to me. Being a backcountry expert with Skidoo, my job is kind of to make the sled look good, to get exposure through whatever I can do as far as filming and social media outlets, and just basically represent the product and show what it can do to the consumer.
I've been a backcountry expert for them for 6 years now, and it's been an awesome experience. I started off riding when I was a little kid, and you know, being able to work that closely with Skidoo, and not to mention the riders, my teammates, it's an awesome experience to actually be able to work with the brand and see the improvements on the sleds. The sleds these days are incredible, and to be able to work with them, you know, see the products advance. Because I remember when I was younger, and you know, you'd look up on a mountain and say, man, that'd be so awesome to get up there. And I mean, these days you can get up there, you can really like pinpoint areas, you can, you know, have a blast, and just being able to work close with Skidoo has been a blast for me.
Obviously, with being a Skidoo backcountry expert, you got to be an ambassador for the sport, promote the sport, do it very positively. We do a lot of things through Instagram and Facebook, and you know, create a lot of neat content. Be active in promoting yourself and be available to a lot of different magazines and videos, and like Sledhead 24/7. All of us have a unique role actually. It's a cool different recipes as to what we have here, and the neatest part is each of us have a different riding style. We all have great input to these snowmobiles. Some of us are wearing the Skidoo gear, and so they like to use our input for designing gear or even parts and accessories for the snowmobiles. So it's been fun being involved with that, trying to keep them informed and saying like, hey, let's change this, let's change that. So you know that Skidoo is definitely pushing the backcountry scene, and they want to make a snowmobile and their parts be the best. And luckily enough, we have Ashley Chaffin and Jay and I that are really close to each other, so we're constantly able to ride with each other and keep pushing each other, I guess.
It was a great time riding with Skidoo's backcountry experts. As you can see, they showed us exactly how those 850 Generation 4 chassis work.
It looked like a great time, Jeff. We're going to be right back after a quick break, so stay tuned.
Still ahead, the Arctic Cat Black Cats are cued and ready. From hill climbing to deep powder sheer madness. You can be sure Rob and Dave will bring their A game to the trail. Please stay tuned.
Sledhead 24/7 is brought to you by AMSOIL. Protect your weekend. Stud Boy. Traction with an attitude. Straight line performance. Ziegler Cat. Exceptional service backing the best equipment. The U.S. Air Force. Aim high.
Welcome back to Sledhead 24/7. Now, Jeff, I understand that you got the opportunity to ride with Rob Kincaid and Dave McClure of the Arctic Cat Black Cats.
Yeah, the Black Cat's a new backcountry program Arctic Cat has with a few riders. And to ride with those guys, their equipment is fantastic, and they're great people to be around, and the entertainment never ends.
Well, this year Arctic Cat got together with Dave and I and Brett and Corey and decided to build an elite team called the Black Cats, which is pretty cool. It's a factory-sponsored backcountry team. Covers all the aspects of snowmobiling, from everything from freestyle to backcountry tree riding. Kind of decided that we were going to get an athlete in each part of the country so that we could represent the whole sport really well.
The engineers and everyone at Arctic Cat is building some really sick sleds. These mountain cats are unreal. Today we couldn't even get them stuck. The mountain cat gets up on top of the snow, and then you add a supercharger to it, and literally, like, unless we had a tree right in front of us, they would not get stuck. So it's my hat's off to the Arctic Cat engineers. They're really stepping it up in the mountain department. Andy Vivas is head of the mountain team, and I'm in constant communication with him, talking to him, bouncing ideas off of him and stuff. And so it's really cool. It's kind of a dream come true for me to be able to have that close tie with Arctic Cat and to give my feedback, and for them to actually listen to what I have to say to help improve the sleds and make them easier to ride.
And it's just freaking you just keep flying up the mountain. You keep gaining speed. I've never gained speed like that, like a sled.
Dave and I are at each other's throats the whole time. Like, it's like somebody just wound up the jack in the box and you just don't know when it's gonna explode. I hit the log, Dave hits the log. I mean, pretty soon it's just chaos. I get 4 feet from the camera, Dave gets 3 feet from the camera. It's total craziness watching us two idiots ride.
Well, I was gonna come over that log and almost had a head on with the camera guy. So I kind of opted over here, but I don't think you can get these suckers stuck. Right there, I was like done. Just stayed in the throttle and this sucker just kept lifting up out of the snow. Unbelievable how much power they have. Well, that drop tank is freaking sweet this year.
I literally don't feel like I can get stuck on the snowmobile. I mean, it's just unbelievable how much power it has and how well it goes through the snow. Climbs up on the snow, and I mean, you just ride wheelies everywhere you go. It's super cool to ride this snowmobile because everything's epic. It doesn't matter if you're going out through the powder or across the side hill, everything's really fast. And that's kind of Dave and I's style of riding. We're very competitive. We're always at each other's throat. I'm the old man, he's the young kid. And this sled just steps up our game.
Jeff, it sure looks like you had a great time riding with the Arctic Cat Black Cats.
Oh, those guys are a blast. It's like Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy all over. They are so much fun to be around and take you back to so many cool places. If anybody gets a chance to ride with the Black Cats, do it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. That's all the time we have for today's episode of Sledhead 24/7. We want to give a big thank you to Heinen's Motorsports for having us out today. Make sure you check out Sledhead on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, and we're always on sledhead24-7.com.
Join us next week on Sledhead 24/7. We'll get up close for a profile on pro racer Elena Ullman. The Swedish racer and her Polaris are off to a great start. Find out more about what makes her one of the top Pro-Am women racers in the world. It's no secret, Snowcross is one of the most physically demanding sports. So the logical follow, the best medical care possible. We'll have the story of FXR Mobile Medical, standing by trackside, fully staffed, and ready to help get the racers back on the track. We'll see you next week on Sledhead 24/7.